Hi, it's the Bride's Best Friend magazine, and we are here with florist Miriam Ring from Desert Cove Florist. Miriam has brought us a beautiful bouquet, and she's also brought us some flowers for ourselves. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
Well, at the Bride's Best Friend magazine, it's really important for us to bring quality professionals to the brides. And I have to tell you, you have an incredible reputation. You've been in the industry for quite some time. You have a passion for what you do. So let's talk about that a little bit. Tell me how your passion started and how you became a florist.
The passion started when I was 11 years old. Always loved flowers. At my grandfather's home, he'd always plant flowers, and I would cut them and do different things with them. And it really culminated when I was a sophomore in high school, many, many years ago. And then ultimately went to design school in Cleveland, Ohio, and have been in the floral industry over 3.5 decades, and really have not done anything else. I love our business. It's wonderful. I've been dealing with color and texture, style, design. There's so many things that we can do in our business, whether it's for weddings, silk arrangements, hospital work, sympathy tributes, everything. I am a full-service florist here in the Valley, and but my concentration is on wedding work, and I also do a lot of party work. So, but I take brides very seriously. They come to me. This is a one-time thing for them, and everything on that day has to be perfect. And it gives me a great satisfaction to stand back and see her walk down the aisle and say, well, this was another wonderful job that's been done, and a very happy bride.
That's fantastic. So when a bride first comes to you,
yes,
how do you determine what colors are going to work best for them, or how do you get them through the process of ordering the flowers?
Before they come and visit with me, I really tell them from the get-go that the colors of the wedding really are determined by the color of the dresses. And if the girls do not have the dresses, I generally wait until they have purchased them, because in essence, the entire wedding colors are based on the color of the dresses. And then we come and we sit down and talk with the girls. Oftentimes they come with their mothers, and maybe a bridesmaid or two. And I somewhat pick their brain. This is their day.
Well, you're right. It is their special day. And one of the most special flower arrangements of the wedding day is the bridal bouquet. It's heavily photographed.
Yes.
It's the centerpiece of the bride.
Yes.
Well, of course, we have her dress, of course, but the bouquet is definitely a place to start.
Indeed. This, generally what I tell the girls is, of all the flowers in a wedding, the bridal bouquet is the star of the show. She and the bouquet are the star of the show, because all the eyes will be on her, not to diminish the groom, but on her for the entire afternoon or evening wedding. And the flowers should hold up. If they want something that's on the delicate nature, living here in Palm Springs during the hotter months, things such as baby's breath and the more delicate things really don't hold up. So what I try to suggest to the girls are flowers that will hold up in the warmer temperatures. Generally things in the orchid family, Cymbidium orchids, Cattleya orchids, Japhets, things of that nature will hold up. They're very classic, and they're beautiful wedding flowers. Sometimes gardenias will hold, again, depending on how dry our weather is. Most of the time it is dry here. But those also work well for mother's corsages and also decor on cakes. Yes.
Yeah. So you decorate the cake as well?
Indeed. I prefer to decorate the cake, and oftentimes I will tell the girls to, if she plans to have icing flowers on the cake, to more or less hold off on that. Let me introduce color onto the cake, if there is color, because the flowers give it a more realistic look, and really that basically is a companion piece to the entire wedding, and it pulls everything together. And the fresh flowers look much better than icing flowers on a cake. When they get the photograph you will see a continuity from her and her bridesmaids going down the aisle to the last shot of the cake before it's cut. And that's what florists really try to do, is to pull everything together.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because what I do as a photographer is oftentimes I will place the bride's bouquet near the cake when
Yes.
when we're ready to do the cake shot, the cake cutting photograph.
That's correct.
And it just, if the flowers are on the cake, and it just ties it all together.
It does tie it together. There is a tradition somewhat where the bride will choose a bouquet to throw, and instead of throwing her bouquet, she can also throw a very small duplicate, just a smaller version of her bouquet, and it works out quite well. I have done in the past, I've dried bridal bouquets for the bride and incorporated the groom's boutonniere into that under a glass dome, and it makes for a lovely keepsake for the bride. And that, that really does work out quite well as a memento of the wedding, besides the wedding photographs, of course. But the weddings today, the brides are very sophisticated with our media, such as it is on TV and the cable networks. The brides have become very sophisticated in what they want, and also their choice of color, style of dresses are very cool and chic. The color spectrum goes from the color folks that determine what colors will be for this spring or next winter. And then the dress manufacturers manufacture dresses in that color spectrum. So we have a changing color spectrum almost every 6 months.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And I will tell you that I'm glad you brought up the fact that you offer a throwaway bouquet.
Yes.
Because it's very sad to see the bride give up her bouquet when it is so special. It was her companion.
That's
Besides
right.
her groom, she also has her
Yes.
bouquet.
Yes.
And I wanted to point out that you were gracious enough to make this bouquet for us, actually for a photo shoot that was to take place several days ago.
Yes.
And you made this the day before the photo shoot, so now this still looks fresh and beautiful.
Mhm.
So even if the bride chooses not to dry it, she still can enjoy her bouquet for many, 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 many days after the wedding.
If it is well taken care of, the current style is, as I refer to it, a Martha Stewart style bouquet, where the stems are showing, and the stems can be cut about 1/4 of an inch almost every day and placed either in your refrigerator or just in a glass of water on your nightstand or bathroom vanity, just to enjoy it. And it will last. One thing about flowers and the lasting ability of flowers, you have to care for them properly when florists get them in. There might be some florists that either don't have the knowledge of the care and handling, or they're buying inferior product, whereby flowers don't last as long. I always buy premium product. Again, this is a very important day for the girls, and I'm there for them. I do not compromise.
So
whatsoever.
how would a bride be able to determine what would be a florist that would care for the flowers properly? How would she find that out?
That's very difficult. Obviously, a lot of girls, I do know that they do call around, and they obviously begin with price quotes. The bridal girls are very budget-minded in today's society, and I do try to work with those girls. It is difficult. It just depends on, you do have to do your homework. You can go and visit the florists in their shops.
Just ask them.
And just ask them. That's really a difficult question to ask. A lot of it just are ask other girlfriends that they know who did your wedding, your flowers lasted a long time, or not. And that's very difficult to determine.
Or read the Bride's Best Friend magazine.
Absolutely.
Where we absolutely recommend the very best in wedding professionals. Well, that's
But you
wonderful.
really need to query your florist and ask them some very pertinent questions. How long do your flowers last? Do some flowers last longer than others? Again, since we're here in Palm Springs, it does begin to get a little warm, and there are certain things that I certainly don't sell because of the delicate nature of certain flowers. And we don't want those flowers drooping at the end of the ceremony, the end of the reception, and pictures are still being taken at that point. These are pictures that you will have for years and years to come. And you do not want to see drooping flowers or wilted flowers whatsoever.
Well, thank you very much. You have
Thank you.
been a wealth of information.
Well, thank you for having me.
Things I'd never even thought about, so we really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you having me, and I hope all the brides out there will sit down and do their homework and do some research. And I'm most helpful. They can call me anytime, and I'll try and answer any question that they have.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.